One of the most controversial issues that Governor Brown has taken on during his term in office is on the question of criminal justice and corrections.
Prisons is a major issue in Sacramento right now. Governor Jerry Brown is fighting a federal court order to reduce the prison population by more than 9,500 more inmates by the end of the year. Governor Brown says he's done enough to improve prison conditions and does not need to do any more. And the federal judges say things have not improved enough and they need to keep complying with the court order.
Californians supported almost every possible means of reducing the state's prison population. With the exception of moving prisoners to other states, they supported every single reform measure that we asked them about, most notably either shorter sentences or parole for low-level offenders.
They were less keen on spending money to build more prisons to reduce overcrowding. And the sense we got is that people feel that too much money goes to prisons and they want to reduce that.
That said, when we ask Californians if saving money is more important than maintaining the public safety, not surprisingly, they lean toward public safety, and they made it very clear in answer to our questions that while they favor the release of these low-level prisoners, if they were convinced that this release program would harm the overall public safety, the cost savings would not be nearly as important, and they'd want to see these individuals maintained in the correctional facilities.
California is significantly safer now than it was 2 decades ago, according to state statistics. However, people's perceptions of crime have not really changed. They still fear that crime is on the rise. They still see the news. They still see people talking about shootings or robberies, and that kind of word of mouth makes them feel that things are getting worse rather than getting better.
Interestingly enough, Californians' attitudes towards prisons and corrections really isn't all that different than their attitude toward higher education. On both fronts, Californians said they were concerned about cost, the affordability of college on one hand, and the cost of maintaining a very large and expansive prison system on the other. But in both cases, they also made it clear that the quality of services was even more important. The quality of a higher education on one hand, and the maintenance of the public safety on the other. So Californians are cost conscious on most public policy programs, but they understand how important quality is, and when push comes to shove, they're willing to pay for that quality.